Sorry. And we are live. Winston-Salem, North Carolina. A couple weeks of not doing this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm all lost. Thanks for y'all joining me tonight. I sent out some. I invited the friends to see if any. They're probably watching the football. So we got Barry. What's up? Pitchers and catchers haven't even reported for spring training, and the Braves already have been injured. Startled, brutal. Yeah, they just can't. They getting kind of bitten with that. It's kind of. Zach says it's January. The Dodgers have already. Yeah, let's play the games first. You know, we said this a couple years ago. They didn't. Even though they have a powerhouse team, they do. They have a powerhouse team, and thank y'all for talking sports. And because it seems like I'm in a couple of groups. One of them is that cardboard nonsense and stuff. I really think a lot of people collect cards for other reasons than watching the games. It's hard to believe. And then people that are that hardcore into collecting can't separate the cards and the sports, right? It's like they always got to be talking, just bombarding you with the sports because they don't really watch the games. So yeah, I been noticing that, and you know, I got my 1500 Pete Alonso, which I'm very happy about. Sorry, I'm trying to find. Where the wrestling is tonight. I don't see it. Oh, that's right. It's Sunday night. It's not Saturday. I watched that last night. What's up, Amari? Kim out 4 to 5 months, hurt hand, slipping on ice in Korea, right middle finger. That figure seems like we've been getting that finger. Oh, man. Did he figure in your starters, or is he a bullpen guy? I have stuff going on behind me. I don't know what's going on. I invited him, Eric. I don't know if he'll show up or not. I know I wanted him and Ed to come on because Ed brought up something in our group chat about, and he also talked about it on his channel, which some stuff I've been watching and just thinking through things. I keep thinking because I'm off tomorrow. That's one of the reasons why I decided to come on here tonight. Is basically dealers at the Philly show begging to buy cards from people. And I'm just like, you know, all these dealers show up with their buying banners and people are lined up to sell. What's being sold and what's, you know, I feel like those middle cards is where people are lost. It's like either these high value cards are in the cases, and then, like I said, it seems like more and more I'm going to the boxes because I can't afford the stuff in the cases unless it's a big show, and then later in the week, like the National or something like that. And I'm not saying all the dealers are like that. Of course, you got some, but it's just more and more. You know, it's more and more this in between that we're missing. And I'm wondering, because I keep talking about resellers. Well, it seems like almost everybody now is a reseller. So, you know, it's hard to say who gets the 30% discount. You know, everybody's comping on eBay. eBay is where a lot of sales are going on, but not all the sales. That's what I've questioned before. I did that. I questioned that on Carlos's channel a couple of Friday nights ago when I was on there. You know, it just seems like we talk about comps, but we know not all the comps are being even on all the ones you pay, the pay ones. it's just you have to feel comfortable in buying stuff. So uh, it's kind of like it's really hard to say who's the reseller anymore. Where it was just cut and dry. Everybody did a little reselling, but now everybody's a reseller with eBay. We all are. It's eBay and other. It's so easy to put cards on somewhere to resell, and so many different places to do it. You don't need, people say you don't even need to go to card shows. You got a card show any night of the week. Yeah, and I get that, Eric, and it's a very rough guide to where we're at. It's still got to be agreed upon who does what. How much a card goes for is how much somebody's willing to pay. I'm sitting there. So I had a good sale this past week. I don't sell a lot. So when I hit something with a really good sale, it was a 2025 Otani home field advantage PSA 10 that I hit. You're going to be happy, Eric. Here you go. My man, Mike. So I did a good sale, and I was almost I'll give it to you. But somebody sent me an offer why a auction was going on for that card. So while that card, I was going to wait to see what that card ended up at, and ended up way over that. So I got an offer just under what that auction went. Now, in my mind, just because that auction ended up at a certain price, there is no reason why the next auction would end up at a higher price. Because in my mind, that guy, whoever bought that, was willing to pay that higher price, and nobody else was willing to go over it. Believe me, I came out way ahead. So I'm very happy to get that. And what's up? So we got Zach Pearson here. Got a couple of Zachs. Red Light. Let's see. Dr. Exclusive. What is up, brother? Staven Sports Cards. A Collector's Dream. What do you think of the 2026 design? I like it. I think it's not unique, but just unique enough, right? I think it's very similar to how much can you do to a card, right? What are we going to do here? I don't like the flashiness. I like basic, and I think it'll look good with the chrome when you add color to it. Depends how they do the color. I haven't really looked at much of that, but I was trying to edit and bump the okay, Zach, that's cool. It's crazy how many people are in collected cards are collected at Dallas this weekend. People are so hyper focused on moving dealers, talking fast, throwing money. Yeah, it's getting that way. Dom, what's going on? I think the color parallels look great, but the base design won't stand the test of time on the time. I disagree, and that's all going to be, in the eye of the beholder, Dom, because it's very like I said, I on our group chat, a tongue in cheek that said, I bet it'll look good in chrome. Because that seems to be every year what everybody, it'll look good in chrome. Everything looks pretty good in chrome. So the 26 tops definitely seem to have a Bowman vibe. I'm just glad they brought back the blacks. Yeah, Eric, I'm sure when I heard that, your name comes up pretty much on that one. It's pretty synonymous now. Amari, I like the design. I do too. Even I think they're bringing the 93 design back. It's very similar to the 93. I don't think it's exact 93. What do you think, Mike? Is it exact 93?
I think it's 91, isn't it?
Or 91. But I don't think it. More I looked at it, I think it's very similar, but not exact.
I mean, they'll always use little small bits and pieces of old designs or they have some of that inspired. I like the design. I'm fine with it. I mean, it looks like tops. I'm happy to have borders. I know for a few years there they got away from
I like.
borders with the flagship. I
Yep.
definitely prefer borders with my flagship. You know, it's supposed to be a somewhat basic design to a degree, but you want it to look good. You want it to look different. I mean, this is the 75th year of them, so obviously there's endless designs you can use, but at a certain point it does get hard to differentiate too much.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I definitely, you want to have something different than just the plain white borders, I guess, to a degree, but I think for the 75th you want white borders.
I
Um,
like the
I,
white borders.
I like the 2015 design, how that was a little something different, but not too different. With it had like the gradient to it, so I wouldn't mind in the future them getting to something like that. But I don't need some of the years where they had the solid green borders and the solid blues and some of that stuff.
Right. Um, I like the white. It looks solid. And like Dom said, with the colors, color matches will probably look really good with that. I like how the team name is very pronounced. You can read the players' names. Even this year, if you don't have the lighting right, it's hard for me to see. I am getting older. I probably need to get cheaters. I have to have magnifying glass all the time now to even read. My 6 and 8s and 5s all look alike, so it's tough for me. Today, I was trying to put over 600 cards in a set together. That's only a 100 card set, so I had quite a bit duplicates and to list on Sportlot. So I'm doing well on there too. I sold 220 some cards already this month, and I think I want to finish up packaging tomorrow and probably take the rest of them, put me on vacation for the rest of the month. I haven't even been listed because all I've been doing is pulling cards.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, it's I'm over 23,000 listed now on that site. So
You're trying to catch up.
well, and I'm only in the I have my cards alphabetically, so I just finished listing my Reggie Jackson, so that's where I'm at. But I know you might not have heard what I was talking about, but I'm talking about tonight something that Ed brought up in our group chat and also in his video about pretty much being dealers begging people to buy, buying cards and just asking everybody what if they're willing to sell, and also as a kind of a caveat to that, like it's a realization now that everybody is before you heard a little bit of that but not much, but everybody now is a reseller. The chance of anybody to resell is high. I mean, we've been approached at lunch at card shows, at a while we're getting something to eat, if we're selling cards while we're at the restaurant. So, I mean, it's kind of if you're willing to part with your cards, the opportunity is there. It's just whether you're willing to depart financially with. Are you as somebody that runs an eBay business, are you finding it harder and harder to get cards at a price that makes sense, or do you see that as an issue for you?
Honestly, the last few months I've been so busy, I've been not really buying a whole lot outside of new products that get ripped. I mean, I really haven't been to many card shows. I missed the December Philly show, wasn't available for that. So I did the one local show, I guess it was back in November, which it was okay, but some of the best dealers for purchasing from weren't there. And then I haven't had time. Like, I like to hit up some antique auctions and things like that. Haven't had time to do any of that. So I can't really speak too much to the buying aspect, but I sure got a lot of stuff to sell. I've actually been spending the last few days cleaning some stuff up.
Right.
This is like this is a mess that I got here.
Well, my pile is, you can't really tell, but my stacks are getting smaller. I'm getting stuff put away, getting them organized. We got him on channel tonight.
How do I turn this off? How do I change this? Yeah, I was going to give a quick preview. This is like organized stuff, but I got to figure this out. Look at this. God damn. It's been so long, my freaking hair's going gray. I look like Big Scott.
Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, I pick up so many Pete's. I still got a stack, and I put a good handful away yesterday. Pretty much all my Pete's are either all my Pete's are either in a book or they're slabbed or one touch. There's no in between. I don't have them like in a box. Good grief, Miko.
This is like because I've actually been cleaning stuff up. Hey, maybe we'll have a mail day soon. This is some stuff from the. I haven't done a mail day in over 2 months.
I want to come up there and organize so bad.
Oh, I would take it. Hey, this stuff's organized.
Yeah, that's what I like right there.
See, now that's all stuff listed on eBay, plus stuff on the floor.
Yeah. Good news is I think I found a new place to move that might even have like a little studio space for me to.
You know what's bad is, remember the National? It's not good when you find very expensive cards buried under stacks of stuff.
But it's like a surprise every day.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it has been it's just been so busy that it's just been tough.
Right.
So like I legitimately just haven't had time. It's been work, sleep a little bit, pull and pack stuff, list some things when I can. So just been keeping incredibly busy. You get a few free minutes, you throw some bids up. Every now and then you forget to bid on something. You're like, damn.
I've been trying to go ahead and get my Mets flagship done. I'm tired of having it not completed yet. It's been a decade in the making.
Oh, hey, go buy them all right now, and then in another couple of weeks, you'll be behind again.
Well, you already messaged me about.
Yeah, but until you have them in hand, you won't be complete. Yep. And then you got Series 2.
So, I've always been asking everybody, and I'm glad, we're all here tonight with the Mets having a pretty good signing this week with Bichette.
That sucked. Fucking pricks.
So, my question is, I've always asked, what do you do when your player leaves, right? I was a Soto fan already. I just didn't buy Soto Yankee cards because I just, I pay for shit. But I like Bichette. Never a huge Bichette fan. I wasn't if Toronto's playing tonight. I'm going to watch Bichette. It was watch Guerrero. But probably, because that dude just launches balls. But I'm glad he's on our team. I don't have the itch to collect Bichette Mets cards. I just want him in the flagship, and then I'll move on. I'll get him. I want to probably get one graded of his first flagship just to have
his Mets rookie
card to go with his Blue Jays rookies. I know that is not a thing, but still for me, for somebody.
I got Bryce Harper's Phillies rookie. I gotta ask a rookie card specialist though. What's like Harper's Phillies rookie? Is it his Tops Now card? Does it have to be pack pulled, which would technically be his 2019 Bowman? But that's like a short print. So would it be his Topps flagship? Hey,
it's
or
in,
make our own rules.
every one. It's whatever you want it to be, as long as it's packed full and sent out across the country. Because as long as it's not the second one in that set, it could be the second one in the next set, but it can't be the second one in that set. You know what I'm saying? If you get the Bowman, it comes out first, and then the Mets flagship. It's weird. Anyway, first Topps, right? I just I like the flagship. I've been a flagship guy. Always will be a flag. That's what I grew up. Only card I knew growing up. I miss the days of only having one set. Even though I said yesterday, I have fun putting together runs, of what I can afford. There's so many cards out there. I can afford getting, even a golds at 50. Reds are tough. Blacks are tough. But, the rest, purples, yellows, greens, orange is tough. But most of the time I can usually get most of the run, especially now with Topps having 800 different ones. Even in 2019, I got 40 some different versions of the 475 picture, right? And that's not close to even all of it in 2019, and just what we have now. With flagship chrome and all the different versions of that same picture. I have fun doing it. But if I could have my choice, I would like to just have one card and move on with it.
I kind of miss more limited parallels. I don't need 47 different ones,
Well, Battery, he looks like he will play third, but because Simeon will play second. And right, and then I saw a thing today where Polanco's not even starting, and I was like, "That's a waste of money." If that's the truth, I couldn't see that. And Brett Beatty would be playing out there somewhere. And then I saw Simeon out playing. They had Beatty playing a second, and we need a left fielder. I think pretty bad. I'm not a big fan of the young man they want playing left field. Bo at third and Polanco at first, shortest infield in the majors in quite some time. Yeah, and they showed like Polanco's numbers to Pete, and I know this is blasphemy for a Pete fan to say, but the numbers are not far off, and they're getting him at a cheaper price. So. I think we need a starting pitcher too. I've started a flagship gold run of my favorite players. Nice. It's all right when you say gold. So that's the problem with flagship. Now we got two golds. We got the gold to 50, right? And then the gold that's numbered the flagship gold, which is I guess what you're speaking of the year. Yeah, and that card is usually golds are pretty. That's like the Prism Hollow. Like that is the pricier card for how many are out there for each card, right? Because I did find I have one gold mirror of I didn't know I even had. I forgot I had a gold mirror of one of Pete Alonso's RBI leaders from 2 years ago or last year. So
Kyle Schwarber card.
Yeah, it's a Kyle Schwarber. Gold foil is not gold. Yeah, I'm not talking about the gold foil. Like I guess they don't even have it. Yeah, they got a flagship, right? Gold. They do have a gold foil that's not numbered. I just collect Alonso cards and a Braves uniform. It's a pretty small collection thus far. I'm sure if we look hard enough, there's got to be Alonso that's played for him somewhere. I keep getting that Nacho Alvarez in everything that I do.
Nacho's part of the Hitman food and
Yeah.
beverage collection.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got you. 50. Started 2020. Got you. Yeah, because I actually like today won a Pete Alonso something. One of the Fanatics things. I think you either had to buy a product from Fanatics or buy it at the Fanatics show. The Big Apple card, which has got like the skyline in the background.
Oh, I never picked any of those up. How's that look?
It what I saw in there, and I won it in an auction today for $1. So I won it for $1 today. It cost $5 to ship it. I was like, I'm okay with that. I'll pay $6 for that. Those were in the the Fanatics Blasters. I know they're not easy pulls because I knew it was limited to something, and it was a tough pull. So when I saw that, and I was like, nobody's bidding on it. I like it. I've gotten two. I got that one, and also in a break that I got in for Pete earlier this year on the Chromium. I think for like $20. I got in on a break, and I got the. I actually hit the scoreboard background. Do you know that one? That they started this year.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's like the fence scoreboards at the ballparks. It's the back. They put that in the background, so it's kind of like instead of having, whatever the background was, it's like it looks like the background of the fence scoreboard at one of the ballparks. That's all it is. It's different, but I got one of those in a break. So anyone bidding on the RACI, not me. That's not my field.
I threw some bids, but I just kind of threw some initial bids for the hell of it. Nothing that I need to chase.
Okay, this baseball card life throws out a pretty interesting question for collectors. I like these type of questions. What would you guys consider a 2026 Topps Baseball Master Set? Series 1-2 update, campground short prints, or a giant Topps online checklist? Thanks. I'll hang up and listen. All right. I always, if you're looking for like a master set, I would never include, unless a short print was the numbered card, but I would not like a variant short print. I only would put the actual card that's in the checklist, but that's just me.
There's too many freaking parallel, like the true master set, like excluding 101, like no one can afford that.
Well,
I would just say, like, I would say series 1, 2, and 3, and all basic inserts, maybe.
Yeah, and like, so if it had like, because I'm collecting some, I'm like 10 cards away from having the WNBA Donruss Masters set of base, and that's all I want. I also have the same thing in like Star Wars, Topps Chrome, and a few other that I'm going for, like the master set of the base. That includes like not not variants or anything. So yeah, base and insert sets. That's what I would think too. The Soto, and that is nice as it's him in an airbrush Mets uniform that is Yankee uniform and NYC skyline in the background. Right. Yeah, man, you probably got it. You get so in touch with that stuff, man. You probably tell me better, but it's up to anybody. I know some people, if it's in the base set checklist, they want it. So if it's like an oversized head or the old Legends inserts that they used to do with the same number, just a legend instead of a modern player.
I mean, for me, for my Phillies set, I do all the cards in the flagship design basically. So I do Series 1, 2, and 3, and I do the golden mirror image variations. I obviously wish they would go back to just having 2, 3, 4 short prints, but that's not the case. Now there will be, this year I think there's going to be golden mirror image variation legends, so that'll be some extra ones. I don't remember if there's any Phillies on the checklist or not, but.
Well, yeah, I would agree with that to a certain extent, but that is just unreachable. Because you can never get you could never get one at once. And I mean, you would go broke trying to get the golden mirrors. I mean, I tried the first year the golden mirrors. I think like still to this day, I think Brett Beatty is still like $450.
There's certain ones you literally, for whatever reason, you just don't see. So I don't know if they make them in different numbers or not, but like. So, for example, there's one Phillies last year, 2024 update. Michael Rucker has a card. The guy never actually pitched for the Phillies. He was in AAA. I think he was called up. He was on the active roster for like 1 day, but he didn't actually appear in a game. There's one on eBay for $40, which isn't like unreasonable for a golden mirror. It's not like out of this world. I mean, for that guy's card, it's kind of crazy, but it's like it's the only one on there. So the guy never accepts any offers, which I kind of don't blame him. If he started that at auction for $1, you might win it for $4. But there's other ones that are just super popular, like Brandon Marsh from this year. He's with the goofy mascot for the Braves, I think. It's like $200. Like I don't have that one because clearly I'm trying to not spend that much for Brandon Marsh.
Right. I just find it going after the pricier stuff just kind of, I don't want to say ridiculous because you can do whatever you want. But for me, it just doesn't make sense. And because I do like, because if I'm going to do that, then I'm not going after all of them. I'm just going to stop collecting the Mets cards and just do my player runs of who I like. Because I cut out buying extra Mets stuff. I do not buy Mets cards unless it's a player I'm really. If it's a rookie year, like I got a lot of Acuñas, I got a lot of Marinas, got a lot of Beatties, Ventos, rookie cards. Kodai Senga, I have their rookies, like a lot of their rookies. But other than that, I don't have. I don't see a need to have second, third, fourth year cards of those players because it just doesn't make sense to my collecting. For me to have this, but when you said like the base or that do you get the chromiums as well because that's the same picture, right? Same design.
Well, I do the flagship though. This year, it's actually starting to tick me off a little bit. I don't understand why Topps update. Like, I wish they would fix it in 2026. The guys that get traded at the deadline, get them in freaking Topps update. It's really, really annoying. So, for example, and I know most people don't give a shit, right? Like 99.9% of people could care less if Harrison Bader's in a freaking product or not, or Duran, the Phillies closer. But neither of them had cards in Topps update. Yet Chrome update comes out just a couple weeks later, which you would think would be a product that would be a little more difficult to print. I know they don't make quite as much, though. They clearly made a lot more this year than the past. Both those guys were in Chrome update, but they're not in Topps update. So I actually took one of each of their base cards from Chrome update and put them in with my binder, my flagship team set binder, just to have them in there. But I don't do like the whole Chrome set. Right. But if there is like, so in 2015, because I think at one point Chrome, I don't think they made as many horizontal cards. Because I know Utley's, I think it was Utley had a horizontal base card, and then his Chrome card was a vertical, like, and it was a different image. So since it was different, I threw that in as like a little bonus because what the hell, they're my sets, my rules. But
yeah, I can't stand when Topps does the, hey, we're going to make this short print or super short print in this flagship or something. But when we come out with Chrome, that's going to be the base card. It's the same image. or the holiday is the image of the short print, like they did with Acuna that year. It's like that is not special anymore, right? I mean, I hate when they do that. It just brought to my mind when you said that. Yeah, it says Amari said, "Are you worried about CB?" Of course I am. Of course, because I think 2027 is going to be an interrupted season, delayed season, because I think the owners are going to put their foot down, and at the very least, going to get a bottom, negotiate a bottom to spend, and I don't think they'll get a hard cap. Even though I think the hard cap will help out the players more. It'll help out more of the players than the players that are getting paid. They're still going to get paid. It's just I think, and I hope they do something with the minor leagues. It might cut out a league or two, but minor leaguers need something done for them because it's unless for the ones that get the big bonus signings. After that, when I found out they get paid as seasonal help, I just thought that was very crazy to me. Minor leaguers don't get treated well at all. So tired of putting together a Series 1 Braves team set and observing that at least a third of them would never play for the Braves that season.
I do wish they would do a better job with Series 1 as well. Like, I don't get someone who knows baseball a little bit to make these checklists. Again, I understand it's coming out in February. I understand there'll be a surprise trade here and there. That's always going to happen. But the amount of guys in Series 1 that are free agents or that are going to be is like ridiculous. Like, I think Nick Castellanos is on the Series 1 checklist. Anyone who knows anything about the Phillies, who paid attention since August, even though more so, like, he will not play for the odds of him being on the Phillies roster opening day are less than 1%. They're attempting to trade him. They're going to eat most of his salary, and they're going to cut his ass. Like, why is he on the checklist? Matt Strom is on the checklist, who got traded already. Listen, it wasn't necessarily – he was a guy who, if you examined a roster, you kind of knew there was a chance. There was some stuff that went on at the end of the year. And again, I get these are just basic players, but like it's not good. It's not a good look for the brand, in my opinion. Like the collectors who collect this stuff, like that, the kids they don't want these guys who aren't going to be on the team. I do think I just don't think it would cost that much to have someone employed that goes, hey, let me just look through our list of names. Yep, this guy is a free agent. This guy's very likely to move. Let's bump them to Series 2. I would think it'd be a day's work, but what do I know?
So with we're going to enjoy this season. With 2027 coming around, Fanatics is still going to pump out cards. For collectors, it shouldn't really change much other than we don't have a season to enjoy the cards with. I think it'll hurt the update. It'll hurt, like, I don't know so much Series 2. Because I bet you they already had Series 1 and Series 2 and a good outline for update before the season even starts. So, I don't know if they can do autographs or a lot of, I don't know. So I don't know how that all works. Amari thinks they should cede to the salary cap. They're the high guys. Harper already said he's not for it. I don't think he's got the.
I mean, I don't know what the true answer is. They just need to find a way. The players that deserve to get paid should get paid. The cheap bastard owners who take taxpayer money and make a shitload of profit and take freaking free handouts from the other teams, like, those guys got to go. They need to have some sort of harsh penalty that they have to spend. They got to figure it out. But we also do need, like, you want the players. I understand the players should get what they want, but we also need owners that aren't jackasses. Like, I'm sorry, Kyle Tucker, $60 million a year is fucking ridiculous. That is not any kind of hard take. That's ridiculous. The guy is a good player. He's an all-star caliber player. He's he's a guy who, in today's world, I guess would get in the $30 million range, even though it feels crazy. He's not a guy who's going to sell jerseys. He's not a guy who's going to draw fans. He's not a guy who's one of the best players in baseball. So things like that do cause problems because he just, again, he's a very good player. He just shouldn't be, one of the top 3 highest paid players. And they do need to figure out something with deferrals. Like, that's fine. You can defer money all you want. It should completely count against your tax. Like, they got it. Like, the Ohtani contract is another thing that's a joke because that's cool. I get Ohtani makes freaking $100 million a year in incentives, and the Dodgers, they could care less what they pay him because they're making a ton of money because of him in general.
Yeah.
But the fact that only $2 million of his salary per year counts against the luxury tax is bullshit. Like, we know that's a legal scam. You know what I mean?
I think his full contract should be
it's
divided
bullshit.
up. Even if they're not paying him, if you want to defer it later, it still should come up off when he's playing.
I mean, and I don't know how much you can do, but I also have a problem with something with the international free agents too, because I think it's bullshit that the Dodgers get, like, again, I know it's easy to pick on the Dodgers and good for them. Like, of course, yes, if I'm a Dodgers fan, I'm thrilled that I can spend endlessly and all this, but it's also ridiculous that they get all these top-notch Japanese free agents. And I know they didn't get them last year, but I'm pretty sure they didn't care about or have room for any of the guys this year. If they wanted them, they would have gotten them.
So this year's is weird. You have White Sox who, out of nowhere, gets one of them.
Yeah.
That
guy didn't have a huge market, it doesn't seem like. The pitcher, I think some teams were in on, but obviously nowhere near Yamamoto. My issue is, again, I understand that's just the way it works. They get posted, all this, but it's just like, it's just that distinct advantage for these few teams. And I understand, again, that's why some people thought the Phillies would chase one of these guys because it would help them in the future, maybe build a brand where these guys would want to come here. They all want to go to the West Coast and stuff, but it's just like, oh, this guy's comfortable in LA. Like, I don't give a shit if he's comfortable. All these other players are drafted. They're from Alabama and they get drafted by a New York team, or they're from California and they get drafted.
Did you look at the international signings this past?
Yeah, I know there was a bunch of those too.
Yeah, I know.
I mean those
like 20 some players.
Yeah, that happens every year. They get the bonus pool. I don't know how they could do it. I feel like you'd be better off having an international draft. I don't know if the logistics of that work well. At least that the guys kind of have limits and you have a pool for it. And like, I feel like the Japanese, and I understand they're professionals, so it's a little different. It's not an amateur signing. But like, there's just got to be something where it's not, you can't just have one or two teams getting everyone.
I kind of dispute that because they're not in the major leagues. I don't care what league you come from. I think you should declare for the MLB draft.
Yeah.
The MLB draft doesn't care if you were.
Well, they have the they have the amateur draft, they call it. They used to have 2 drafts a year. So if you want to do something, you can have 2 different ones. I have no problem with that, but there should be a way for it to be, again, more evenly split, where it's not like, you have that's what the international signing, there's a pool of money you can spend. So that's why the guys get, teams will blow a bunch of money on their top prospect or 2.
You got Japanese players now that don't want to even sign in the Japanese league. There's going to be a new crop of young guys that are just coming out of their industrial league or whatever, that come right out of high school. That don't make it to the Nippon League or whatever. But they're going to be signed to minor league contracts because they haven't made it yet, just like the Latin players. Because I don't know why we treat one differently than we do the other. If a guy comes out of the Mexican league, that's a professional baseball league. But we kind of treat it differently.
Yeah. Well, I think most of the international free agents most of them are kids. A lot of them are 16, 17, 18 years old.
They come out of the schools. What do they call them? They most of them.
Yeah. I forget what I'm forgetting the name offhand, but I know what you're talking about.
Like, but which is good. I mean, a lot of those kids coming here, it's tough for them. Learning the language by themselves, it's tough. Let's see here. We got Battery moved by 16 to another market. Rather than tell it, you should just let Otani play on the team. Expand a draft again and allowing international players to draft. International players are drafted in the NBA. Very true. Baseball academies. Thank you, Mari. Because it's because they're saying, what the Japanese league is kind of like what AA, college balls like high A. And I don't think we need all the minor league teams, even though it's fun for the areas. We have a ton of them down here in North Carolina. They're everywhere. It's fun in the communities. They get good crowds, great crowds, but it's just the owners of the major league teams do not want to put much into them because there's only going to be 10 or 12 actual prospects playing in 5 or 6 minor league teams. That is 26 players in each one. So I can't do that quick of math. I mean, it's 150 players, and you're talking about 10 guys that are even possible of making it. They don't want to put the money into it. So something needs to be done all up and down. Money's crazy.
I don't need extreme parity, but you do want teams to have a chance. Like, and you don't want teams to have. You have some teams that they can build up and have a year or two, and then they can't keep anyone, and you're never going to be like the NFL. But the NFL, I mean, parity works for the NFL, obviously.
Right. Well, that's what the MLB wants. They want you to all the teams to have a chance on opening day. And I mean, theoretically they do, but we know better than that. We know that the odds-on favorite before day one is the Dodgers. Something catastrophic has got to happen for them not to be at least in the playoffs. They have to. Something's really got to happen. I mean, they just don't show up. I don't know. They get, influenza, they get the flu for about a month. I don't know what's got to happen. But, they got the best grounds crew led by Pupino Man. And then, that team is just crazy. It's an all-star team. It's not, but they do it within the rules. So it's hard for me to complain. You can't complain about it. You just root against them. They're the what everybody hated about the Yankees is now the Dodgers. So, and Dodgers are not trying to say they're not doing it. They're just doing it. I think baseball will do well with the European soccer system. The owners would definitely spend then to avoid relegation. Yeah. I still don't understand how soccer works. It's very confusing and it's not just European soccer because they have some of that in the United States as well. Yeah, make baseball great again. I think baseball is great. I'm eager for it because this past season, MLB needs to check themselves. They had one of their greatest postseasons that I've seen, right? And just very contrast of play is this year's NFL playoffs. So when you have parity, you don't have any great teams, and it shows.
You do need great teams. You do need villains. You need stars. I think that's one of the things with this that you're getting at. Like, there's just not a ton of star power in this NFL postseason.
Right.
And yeah, I mean the
I
playoffs
didn't
this
even want
past
to
year were
watch the
great.
games this weekend. I'm sitting here now watching Unrivaled. I got the women's basketball. I either been watching wrestling, basketball, or hockey, or a combination of both at the same time. So, baseball card life. You could cap payroll for MLB teams each year, but you can't control the money and fame. Being a Yankee, for example, off the field compared to being, a Pirate. But I will say this. That used to be the case. But with television and everything, television is everywhere. It's no longer just local ads. Television is everywhere. You don't have to wear the pinstripes or the Dodger blue to have huge commercial appeal. You got to have the charisma for people that do ads once you win their ads, and you got to be great. That's the other thing. So Paul Skeens probably can do well if he. I don't think Paul Skeens has the charisma as some of the other guys do. So, that being said, some of those pictures are just a little bit more quiet. You don't see Skillable, things like that. But, I think position players in baseball just don't do the great ads anymore. You don't see them in beer commercials.
Yeah, I remember growing up, players being in commercials all the time.
Right.
And now
you just don't see that anymore. Every once in a while, they'll do a Subway commercial or a Little Caesars.
yeah, I mean, Otani's got his New Balance commercials I'll see, and Harper was on. He had some commercial for something. I forget what it was, but I mean, as a kid, I just remember watching cartoons and then seeing like Ozzie Smith and Tony Gwynn and those guys. There were commercials for Topps cards, which I think they should bring back. They were obviously linked up with other stuff, whether it was gum or snacks. I remember starting lineup commercials too.
Yeah, well, you had players later in their career doing hair coloring commercials just for men. And
I was going to say I remember Frank Thomas a few years ago did something. I forget what the hell it was for.
For that over the counter tea for testosterone booster over for at GNC's. But that was after his career's done. But there was always, Ken Griffey used to do commercials. Trout used to do the Subways, and he ain't never played on a good team. Even though the Angels were better this year, the Angels was better even with him not playing, but half the year. What did Pete Rose use to dye his hair? Probably the pine tar. Things will change at one point. At one point at the turn of the century, it looked like the Yankees were going to win the World Series 10 years straight. LOL. Yeah, and I mean all this talk. People. The Yankees, the Steinbrenners we have now, they're about trying to make money and not trying to spend all their money to win World Series. So they put some effort into the Fleer Ultra TV commercial back in the day. I just, we don't have the answers. We're just going to have to see what comes. Hopefully they fix it beforehand. I would like something to happen where players would stay at a team long. That's all I want. Because, everybody's expecting the Tigers to trade Skubal. And I say, hey, let's think of something crazy. Let's see if they sign Skubal. That's still a possibility. So, I wish great players would stay with their teams for their careers. I think all sports fans, they want parity, but the super teams draw the ratings. NBA goes through the same ratings. We're way higher when everyone knew the Cavs and the Warriors were in it. Yeah, I don't know if I want parity. I would just
you want teams to have the ability to build and compete for an extended period of time. like the Royals. And granted, I don't think the Royals had a all-time great team. They built up obviously a very good team, and at this point, of course, this is like 10 years ago. They went to the World Series. They almost won. They took it to a game 7. They went back to the World Series and won, and then the team basically was quickly dissembled from then. They couldn't keep the guys. Now, again, I don't think their core was filled. Obviously, they have Salvador Perez, who they did keep around a long time. The other guys like Moustakas, Hosmer were good players, but not guys. I mean, they're best off not re-signing Hosmer, but things like that. Like if the Pirates are probably going to fall short of a playoff spot this year, but it's not impossible. Like the Pirates have built a very good starting staff, a young staff. They probably don't have enough in the lineup. But
they bid for Schwarber. Schwarber took the bid back from the Pirates to the Phillies.
Well, the Pirates should be able to do enough this year where if things are going right and they're competing, they should be able to pick up some payroll. And again, their cheap bastard owner should be able to do it. But like, you just kind of know that Skeens is more than like Skeens, pending health, should be a Pirate for an extended period of time. But the reality is, in 2 years, we're going to be talking about him getting traded. Same thing with Skubal. If this was 10, 15, 20 years ago, Skubal probably would get extended because the Tigers' old owner used to spend a shit ton of money. But now it's a different ownership group, and they don't want to spend money. So there's no chance he's re-signing there.
Yeah, I also as a card collector, it's just funner when the guys stay at one team for.
Well, it's annoying. Like Juan Soto's been on 4 teams already? It's like ridiculous.
And I mean, don't be crazy if the Mets have another. I think the Mets locker room got better, and I think that'll make the Mets better. There were definite issues that they came up with this year about the locker room. So the one guy's in Oakland, and they just know Soto is not going to be vocal. And you can wish all you want that he wants to be vocal. He's not going to be vocal. He's not that guy. So, but I'm sure you're happy though. Your Patriots look like they're starting a new dynasty. So
it's it's kind of crazy that they're back in this position, but certainly not going to complain about it.
Yeah, let's see, Zach. Zach says, I like how NBA does it where it's not really possible to keep a great team together. The luxury tax grows year after year. It's just too much. I'm a Thunder, but they can't pay everyone forever. They owe hundreds of millions in taxes. Yeah. But in basketball, it's a little bit easier to rebuild because you only need a few good players. In baseball, it's a little bit tougher. In all sports, you got to have chemistry. The Astros showed how to build from losing, and they've been consistently good since they built their team.
Yeah, this is probably the first year they missed the playoff.
Right.
They missed it in a while.
Right. And you got Miami and Tampa that shows you that you can do it with very low salaries. So to see the Pirates struggle the way they do is a little off-putting because you see other teams. The team to look out for this year, and of course they're trying to look better if they ever move to their new stadium. That's such a debacle. Is the Athletics of wherever they're playing at this year. They have a very strong team. So REA extended bidding. So yeah, that is the baseball is very concerning to me. But being this is a card channel for cards, it's still going to be there. There's other sports. For me, I've been talking about value collecting and just being smarter with my money right now. It looks like I do. Yeah, no work for me tomorrow. I hope everybody, still have in mind why tomorrow being MLK Day, a great man. Uh, you know, not only think about him, but other people that are in this country or anywhere. I should really lend a hand to everyone, and let's have one day in honor of a great man, MLK. I wanted Pete Alonso to be a Met for life. He doesn't seem like an a-hole in real life. Yeah, I really he. So that first year he was in the home run contest, people were saying he didn't have he's too serious. Well, he was there to make money because he was on a base like $450,000 contract. He made doubled his money and won hitting home runs in one contest. So he took that to heart, and he has fun playing the game of baseball. So that is, I love Pete, and I'm so happy he went to the Orioles. I'm sad he left the Mets, but I never in a million years thought he was going to be an Oriole, and I am glad he's an Oriole. I can't wait to see him in that lineup. I hope they get some pitching this year because they're going to be tough. That division, that American League East is going to be, the Braves will probably come in last, but don't be surprised if the Yankees are right there. Tampa's still going to be good. Boston got better. Orioles got better. And I still don't know what they're doing with Mountcastle. I thought he would be traded by now. So got a little bit logged in. They still got a lot of young players in their minor leagues. I don't know if Eric is still on here. I don't know what the Mets are going to do with all their players they got in the minor leagues because it's about time to either bring them up or do something with them. Jet Williams and that group. So I think the AAA team, is it the Cyclones or AAA team, Mike, up there?
The Brooklyn Cyclones? I thought they were a little lower level. Syracuse, I think, is AAA, isn't it?
I can't remember. One Syracuse of them, Mets. I thought the AAA when they're
Syracuse, I think, is AAA. Binghamton's AA. So I think Brooklyn's single A.
Yeah, so I think the AAA team won their World Series or whatever this past year. I think the Blue Jays might see a big-time regression this year without Bichette. Do you think Bichette was the catalyst for that team? I don't think so. I think Guerrero was the catalyst. Now, are they going to miss Bichette? Hell, yeah. But they also got some other great players, and they got better. I think got a little bit better at pitching, right, in all season. So, and if they keep that mindset of putting a bat on the ball, that even with Donnie being I tell you what, the Philly guys are all bitching about not picking anybody. Speak of Ed, the best pickup, they got the best pickup of any club, and that's Don Mattingly as a bench coach. If they listen to him, he is going to do great things for them. So I think that's a great pickup for them. We grew up with Rhino, Cal, and Gwen all on one team, feeling over logic sometimes. Yeah, feelings over. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Cabrera is playing past his prime, and he's still there. I mean, he's, Pujols put together a great last season when we thought he was done. Cal Ripken was still contributing all the way up to the end. I don't know. He couldn't do it in the field like he once could. But, I mean, the old man can still hit. They had to move Zimmerman over to first when he got older because his shoulder, he just couldn't throw anymore. So, these older players, they are playing longer. We get to enjoy them because they're such good shape, health, fitness wise. They know what to eat. They everything is measured and everything. So I actually wondered if Madeline was on the Braves' radar to replace Snicker. Yeah, I think the Braves wanted younger coaching to fit the way coaching is now with with the theories that they use. Uh, a lot of the old coaches can't shake old way of doing things. So a lot of teams I think are going younger to go with the numbers. But yeah, I think Mattingly I can't. It's hard for me to say this. I'm gonna get choked up here trying to get this out of my mouth hole. But I would not mind the Phillies winning the World Series. So Mattingly gets a ring. So.
You hear that now? Big Scott, Phillies fan.
No,
he's so upset that the Mets said "fuck you, Pete," that he is now a Phillies fan.
No, I'm not that. Like I said, he's an Oriole. Wrong.
When I saw that, I was like, I feel like Big Scott's not even upset he left the Mets. I feel like he's probably so ecstatic of that outcome. You were so fearing he would go to the Yankees or some asshole team you didn't like.
So, me and my dad might go up catch some Orioles games this year, just so I can see him in person. So because I didn't get to see him play in Washington because I was in Iowa. So, and he was a Met, and so it'd be kind of cool to go up and watch him play in Baltimore or see if they're playing in Washington. And we also have a new minor league ballpark in Richmond that I want to go up there and watch, see I think it's a 9,000 seat stadium. It's all one level. Really nice looking stadium. Really like it. Where the Giants AA team plays. So, but are we? I got a question for you, Mike. So we still getting releases for 2025.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Does anybody care when you release cards for 2026? The what they look like, but you're still releasing cards for 2025. Like the last ones, like Heritage High Number. I just don't care.
I'm sure the Heritage people are happy to be able to fill their sets out, but first of all, it's a bad set. Like obviously you have a couple of good rookies, but there's no star power in that set.
I have yet to see it in the stores. I don't even know.
I don't think they made retail. I think it's hobby only.
Okay.
I think they realized it's too late. I just don't like Stadium Club's cool. I like that product. I always wouldn't mind opening a box or two. Obviously, depends on price. Regardless, that's a product I'd like to pick up at the very least, like a Phillies base team set, just because they're plus. Stadium Club to me is a base. Like the parallels suck in Stadium Club. I don't care about the inserts. The base cards, I wouldn't even mind having a base set because you do get the legends. It just looks great.
The Stadium Club is in different colors.
They did start doing that last year, but previous years it used to be like literally the Stadium Club logo was the only thing that was different. It was so dumb. But like those are great looking base cards. But why in the hell is that product going on pre-sale January 20th? So who knows when it's being released? You have to assume February. Like it's ridiculous. It should have been out in June, July, August. Like they really need to fix that. You shouldn't have more products coming out after the season's over than before while the season's going on. It's asinine.
Your last product should be the Christmas holiday stuff. And that's it. After that, it's on to the next year. Get out your. I think I like flagship coming out before the season starts. And I wish they'd come back out with either opening day was nice because it came out, guess what, around opening day. It's nice to have a product release coinciding with the opening day week. Um, I don't know if we're going to get that this year or not with any product, but yeah, they need to do better. And again, I could have done without archives. I just think I don't know who that product is for. Everybody, it used to be like, oh, it's like an entry product but it's not cheaper. I don't know what it's for. I really don't. A lot of you got Heritage. Do we really need some of those cards done? I'm surprised we don't have the 87 card in that pack. It's just I don't know what that card is for. I've been baffled with that set for as long as I've seen it. I never really understood the purpose of that set. Archives is for Heritage collectors, or it's the other way around. Every once in a while they come out with a good insert in that. Like they did the posters that one year, poster card, they look like posters. Insert stuff like that. But like at this year date, it's really on the fit. I saw you open up a box. I was like, oh, this ain't too bad. And the more it's just, I would have rather had Stadium Club come out then instead of that. So I'd rather them bring back the anniversary Chrome, whatever, that was called the Chrome anniversary set.
Yeah, that was a fun product.
So, I mean, I don't really get that. So, is there like a product that you don't quite understand why they still do it or ever done it?
I mean, I don't really have any strong opinions on it. Like, I just wish this stuff would come out earlier. I think that's my biggest issue. Like, why is everything getting bundled up late? Why is everything getting bundled up together? I just don't understand. Like, I get you want to make a big fuss at a flagship. I understand you don't want stuff competing with that right away. But like, that's when people are excited for baseball during spring training, and then like by opening day, you should have something else out. Like people are fired up. All the teams are in it. Everyone's, no one's been freaking traded yet. All that kind of bullshit. Like, just take advantage of it. Have a couple things out earlier. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I'm just over. I'm over Bowman. I'm over Bowman Draft. I'm over all the Bowman products. But that's just me. Obviously, some people love it.
Bowman's another product, like, because the first card is exciting when it comes out, but people don't really. Only reason why anybody knows anybody that hasn't played yet is because the hype around that player. The hype has been made about that single player somehow through the grapevine. People don't really, not that many people know how good people are. I mean, we're talking about players that haven't even played in the minors yet, and they're hyped up beyond belief.
Yeah, and then they get forgotten right away. And
then that card gets forgotten about, and then once they're a major leaguer, nobody cares about it.
I just think Bowman, for the most part, is a product for quick flippers and people who are speculating, but it's like, it's not a collector product. Like, I'm not going to do a Phillies team set for Bowman. Like, all the prospects, like 1 in 30 of them are ever going to play for the Phillies. It's just,
I remember that product came out and nobody wanted it. It just sat on the shelves. I was picking it up all the time because nobody wanted it. But, I picked it up just to have, because, I mean, hell, like most time I was getting it cheap because it was in the markdown bid. It's let's see. I just watched the Disney Mickey Mouse card go at auction expensive. Wish I picked it up 10 years ago when I wanted. Any cards you wish you had do over? Not really, because I don't look at cards as an investment or a resale opportunity. If it's a card like that, I wish I would have got before it got expensive, right? So I'm kicking myself for not buying a Hank Aaron. When was it we first started talking about that Hank Aaron rookie card? Was it 4 or 5 years ago, Mike?
Yeah, at this point, probably.
Um, Now it's seriously out of my price range. I don't even think I can afford a one or a just a regular. It's the price point is gone that, and rightfully so. It's Hank Aaron. I mean, I just wish I would have got it. When I could afford a 3 or 4. Now this year I really can't afford it, but I wish I would have got it 4 or 5 years ago. But I got something else that I'm not disappointed at what I got. That when I was looking at them. So, uh, and hopefully, man, this is going to be tough because I don't want anybody to lose money. But I hope the prices come back down where I can afford. So, and that's just the way hobbying is. And when it comes to the financial part, there's always got to be a winner and it's got to be a loser in either ways. I saw a stroller wagon hybrid today at a card show. It was like station wagon stroller. They blocked the entire. Yeah, Doc, you know what I'm talking about. I ain't even bringing it up anymore. I just see them. I'm just going to start flipping them, and I hope the kids can run or something. I don't know because I think it's especially. I went to a newer card show a few weeks ago. I showed those cards this past Wednesday for the 10 people that decided to watch that video. There was a couple in there. That place was way too small. It had weird angles. It was divided up in rooms. It wasn't a bad card show. It just made weird angles, and people were in there with those. If you're going to bring a stroller, get one of the old school sling strollers that don't take up. You don't need the tires to go off-roading. I don't understand why. And I mean, and the ones that bring the wagons in, oh my God, that just drives me. But I digress. Zach, there's so many cards I got bored with and sold years ago and went crazy during the pandemic and are still worth so much more than I sold them for. Yeah. Well, that's like I sold that Otani this week. People were like, oh, hey, you should have held on to it, see if it goes up more. And I go, look, it's a 2025, 2026 about to come out. That card's going to be forgotten about. I'm going to sell it now. If somebody else makes more money, they can make more money. It was over 100% profit. It was 4 times the profit of what I put into it at the most. So it's like 100%.
Big investor 35.
All I did was buy a pack and open it, brother.
Hey, didn't say you had to be good at it or think about it.
I don't buy. That's one thing I don't do. Is I don't buy singles to sell later. Now, if I have bought singles and bought them later, I didn't buy them in mind to sell them. It's just I just changed how I hobby, and now I'm getting rid of stuff. And I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff. I have a tote of pops behind me of Star Wars pops. I sold a tote last week. Got another tote. I got another.
Can you break even on those things? How are those things?
Well, I'm not, because I'm going to a place. If I sold them online one by one, I would make money. But I don't feel like doing that. I just want to get rid of them. I'm taking them to McKay's, which is a resale store. And so last week, I would have got like $280 company store credit. And I got $160 cash. So, and it went into my national fund, cash fund I got here at the house. So, that's how I'm trying to make some money for that. Zach has another one. I thought of you at Dallas Monster Crowd, and people had double strollers pushing through. Yeah, that's awesome that the Dallas, it sounds like that was a bad bounce back. So I heard last time the show wasn't, I mean, it still was a lot of people, but it seemed like it, the way I heard it wasn't as many. They had a first time big show in Greensboro. I was going to go to and take cards to sell. Need to bite the bullet, just get a table at a show and just throw my boxes out there and get rid of stuff. But I just don't want to go through all that hassle. It sounds like they did pretty well. There's another big show in Hickory next week. Like I said, there's shows around me, but they're not just card shows. They are more hobby shows. There are a lot of TCGs. Going to be a lot of going to be some toys, and there's some that's like hot. Next week in Hickory, it'll be one room that's toys in TCG, and the other room it's going to be baseball card or sports cards. But it's two huge rooms. It's like going to two different. Takes all day to go through it. Just won a 1944 Boston Braves complimentary season ticket at auction. Not a card, but sort of. Yeah, that's the type of stuff I do like. Battery. What's up, Stu? Got a busy show for the Twin City Sports Collectors show. 60 tables, very busy. Up to 2:30, low prices at some tables. So is that the one that's the group that does that, like a club? Is that like that Twin Cities club that does that at that strip mall? Because I used to go to the show. Stoops. I can't remember. I think that's who it was. Some bastard keeps outbidding me for a Wizard of Oz card. Doesn't he know I'm trying to spoil my daughter? That's great. So, club show booths aren't okay. How are you enjoying the hobby right now? I've been buying raw 90s baseball cards for a binder of cards I like. Not super worried about card condition, enjoying cheap mail days. So for me, the last few shows I went to, I haven't bought any graded cards. They've been all raw. I am mainly looking now. I did get a couple of hanger packs of 80s hanger packs because they had Gary Carter's in them on the fronts. So I'm always looking for stuff like that. But for me right now, I am very tunnel visioned on getting Pete's and David Wright's. My issue is, and I've been talking about this, uncooked cards. That's right. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. My problem right now is I'm having a dilemma of saving my money to get one quality, what we consider quality card, or other people may consider quality card, or do I get low dollar amount quantity? Now, the one I got today, I couldn't pay that's a card. That's the first time I've seen one out. I got it for $1 because I don't think people knew what it was. And also, I think a lot of Pete Alonso fans are soured. I like the player as much as I like, or if I like a player, I don't care about the team unless it's on a team like the Yankees or Cardinals. I like the player. Like I'm picking up Big Amish cards because I like him. He also played here at Wake Forest, where I'm living at now. So I like player collector, very heavy player collector. I'm even like that. Star Wars. I collect Stormtroopers cards and Asuka. I like certain characters in the series. I just don't buy Star Wars cards. Now I will buy packs and boxes or even an occasional case, but I've always, you know, I've always been a player collector, and I just didn't know it. I didn't even know that was a thing until I started YouTube or found YouTube, this community, which I'm so grateful for. Ungraded, most of my purchases were oversized in memorabilia. What's up, Hodges? I enjoy oversized cards as well, Scott. Yeah, I love oversized. I like the oddball size stuff, the ornaments, the toppers. Mike usually hits me up with toppers, players I collect. I've kind of slowed down on Griffey and Frank. I mainly look for 90s inserts with them, and you all know they're kind of pricey. But that's the type of thing when I go to card shows that I'm looking for, right? When I take my $200 and if I spend one, if I get one of those for the $200, I'll do it. David Wright, early 2000s, his cards are not too bad. Not too bad. And, Pete's all over the place because there's just such a large range of them. That is why I went the flagship gold route. The most expensive, of course, is the rookie, and then the rest are 20. Yeah, I got you. And I mean, I think because of what's going on in the graded world right now, Mike, please give us your 2 cents on this. I think you're going to see more and more raw at shows, and you're going to see more and more people collecting going back the raw route because with the foolishness of graded cards, what we've seen, and also the price of getting cards graded, just doesn't make a lot of sense to do it just for collecting purposes. What's your thoughts on that, Mike?
I mean, I would think it would definitely tighten up, except for like the really rare stuff, the really old stuff, where you need authentication. But seems to make sense. It doesn't pay to spend $30-$40 to grade a card to hope to maybe it be worth 60 or 80. And if it doesn't, then you're down to 15,
Right. To collect it, just to have, I would grade them just because I wanted them in my collection graded. It really doesn't make sense anymore. I'll spend that amount to get a case of one touches, a sleeve of one touches, and do it that route, or top load them or book them. To keep it in my collection, it don't have to be graded. I just like the way. But it's hard for me to spend $20, $22 a card at PSA, or now $12, $13 at CGC for a card you can't resell. Yes, as a collector, you have to think about that stuff now. Yeah, Zion Mag Pros. Where were they 12 years ago, 15 years ago, Amari? Because I have so many one touches, right, in my collection. I have a ton of one touches. I'm looking at 2 huge stacks of one touches I need to put away right now. That's what I did. I told y'all the other day when I got this card what I was going to probably do, and I'm not going to grade it. It's just going in one touch. And that's it. I'm done with it. Now, if I pick up the graded card comes around that looks nice and it's affordable, will I get it? Yeah. But I have it now, so that's one I take off my list for 70s rookies that I want. But yeah, the Zion Mags, I love them. Our man Hitman has the Redskin top, or Hitman top on them, Yankees tops. I've gotten some with Mets tops on them from James Gilliam. They were nice, but I just can't all of a sudden just turn around and just start buying those to replace the one touches I already have. I don't want to have a bunch of different one touches. I bought 10 1970 Green Bay Packers William Prints for $2 each, 8x10 size, so they will fit nice in a binder. Too big for a bag, too expensive to get. Yeah, there you go. I got to give it to my man to fill it out. God, what is this? Collects all the Cardinal stuff. Great channel. Wants to come on. I got to get him on here one night when I do one of these again. But the realization of not having to do, to mix it up in your binder, I didn't know they had like 4 slot pages and all that stuff. And, that's my ignorance for not really looking or realizing. I've always been a binder guy, but I've always been the 9-card binder. I'm not a big, I don't like the one-touch binder or the top-loaded binders. They're just too bulky. So, I'm not a big fan of top loaders. I rather have them in a one-touch than a top loader anyway. But yeah, there's so many different ways to collect that you don't have to buy, to do the graded routing. I'm sitting here. I have, I got a set. Showed these yesterday. Living sets. I don't know what to do. Do I just go ahead and get the black one touches and do the rest of these with like that, or you seem like the screw down type? No.
God, screw downs.
I never had a screw down. I missed the affordable slabbing days. How many slabs did Mike grade a year in like 2000? Yeah, group subs, etc. That's how me and Mike first started talking, was group subs, and then you were doing. I think I first time talked to you was during a live sale. And then I get when you group subs, and then the night that I thought I was gonna lose my shit over tops.com. We talked for a while after that rant video. Yeah. They were like paperweights. I have 15 1-inch binders of 4-slot pages from the 19th. Yeah, that exhibit set, man. And talking about exhibits, like, that's an affordable older card, right? But I got a few exhibits. I like I personally really do like my vintage collection. I'm glad because it's mine. I've quietly and very slowly have built up I like my vintage collection. So it means the world to me. Exhibits are the best kept secret in the hobby. I don't know. Are they really a secret anymore? I just don't think people don't like them because of the size and all that stuff. They're just so. It's like me with the minis, right? I like tobacco cards because most of the time they're graded. So they're not, I don't feel like they're minis. But like the Allen and Ginter minis and Gypsy Queen, when they had them, they just don't fit very well. And the best thing was my man that's on here now turned me on to these tobacco inserts that are actually full size but have it's hard to see with the smaller, and they fit. I put it in here, put it in my pages or one touch, or even they'll fit in a top loader, and they look very good. Now, do I have a baggie and a top loader? Heck yeah, Eric, if you hear, I know it's blasphemy. We don't want baggies in our PSA cards, but it works so well. But I think that's the reason why exhibits. I think people pass on them so much.
Oh my God. You got to see the play in the freaking Bears game. Holy shit. I don't understand that. I don't understand how Caleb Williams does some of this stuff.
Baseball. Who's winning?
I mean, well, technically the Rams are up by a point. Bears are going to try the extra point, but it was 4th and 4. It's like 20 seconds left, and Caleb Williams was getting rushed and literally ran back like 15, 20 yards, heaved it up to the end zone, and threw a touchdown pass.
It's a real deal, huh?
Like, they've had a million chances in this game, so I
mean, Wesker just weighed in. Everybody, I'm not. I guess this is the game I should have watched because I mean, at least these are two interesting teams.
I mean, well, so the Seattle San Francisco game got really out of hand. Every other game, the other few games have all been competitive. Every team's just they've been very sloppy. The New England, Denver, Houston game, there were New England fumbled at least 4 times and had a pick, even though it was just a Hail Mary at the half. Houston had 4 interceptions and a fumble or 2, like very sloppy. Same thing in that Bills Denver game. There were like 10 turnovers or something. This game, just a lot of missed opportunities. I just can't believe he freaking threw a touchdown here. He ran back at least 20 yards.
Right.
And hits the guy in the corner of the end zone. Crazy.
Good for him. Bears they're a team that kind of deserve to have some good things happen for them. It's been a while. And I mean, that's as much as we talked about earlier where football, I think next week's games are going to be really good. And I think the Super Bowl is going to be really good. And whoever wins the Super Bowl is not going to be the worst Super Bowl winner in decades or whatever we saw today. That was the stupidest statement I've ever seen in my life. But
I mean, there's no Josh Allen was probably the most accomplished quarterback in these playoffs. Well, him and Stafford. Stafford gets looked over a lot. Obviously, Stafford could still get there. But you just don't have that veteran presence. And then you have, I don't know, there were a lot of teams with really good records this year and a lot of teams with really bad records. So it's not like we have 9 and 10 win teams. Like New England was, 14-3?
Yeah.
Seattle was 14-3. Denver was won 14 games or whatever it was. Like these are good teams. It just
you had to have 10 wins, I think, pretty much to be in playoffs, even with a large playoff.
Yeah, except for your squad down there in Carolina, they squeaked in. But
yeah, you get one,
Yeah,
and they took the Rams to the buzzer, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So I told people at work
those teams are always dangerous.
I haven't bet all year. I was going to bet against the spread on that one. I would have won too. But I didn't. I for some reason I didn't play your Prism opening the other day.
No, neither did anyone else. No one watched it. It's got like 100 views.
And then it was off my front screen, so I forgot about it. But I guess they probably don't. They look the same. But
yeah, I mean, I did really well. I made money on those 2 boxes just by selling one single card. So if you decide to open it, you can figure it out pretty quick. The best card I got, but I actually did well with parallels. I don't mind Prism. I'm not someone who loves Prism. I like opening a few retail boxes every year. But I don't go crazy for that stuff.
Right. I like Prism. Because I was always, when I was collected football hard, like I did baseball, I just didn't know what was I knew, big Tops, you knew what the flagship was.
Yeah.
I knew what rookie card to get. And it was so hard. I was like, well, Score's the first product that comes out. But Don Ross seems to be their flagship. But everybody really likes the Prism after a while. And not at first, but after a while. And it was just hard for me to think of a chromium card as like the card to get.
It's hard to
for a rookie.
Hard to accept the fact that Chrome style cards are like, they've been around for what, 35 years?
Right.
Like, it's weird.
Yeah, to me it just seems like yesterday. But I'm always thinking of the paper card as the card to get for a player because I still, even now, I like to pick up some of the quarterbacks, some of the like Scatterboo, some other wide receivers and whatnot that are playing because I like to have the rookie card of the best players in sports I enjoy. Baseball and football, WNBA. I think that's
cool. I just found a Fergie Jenkins rookie on the bottom of his pile.
There you go. Look at that. Fergie.
This is like a nice scavenger hunt.
There you go. So, you got anything else for us tonight, Mike? I'm going to probably.
No, I'm happy to have had a few minutes to get on and catch up for a few minutes. And
yeah, I'm glad you got on with me tonight, Mike. And, I've been away for a few weeks. I don't know when I'll come back on. It just me being off tomorrow, and it's like, hey, why not? And 3-day weekend. Really haven't done much this weekend, so other than put away a lot of cards and list a lot of cards. So playing some video games. I was playing some 2K26 NBA before we got on, and I suck.
NBA?
Yeah, it was cheap. So guys at work, a bunch of people at work play. So I was like, let me see if I'm any good so I could play with them. And
just to be completely transparent, you're not going to find winners all the time on the bottom of the pile. Sometimes you get a Fergie Jenkins Hall of Famer rookie card, and then other times you find a beat up 1990 Fleer Jeffrey Leonard of the Mariners card, or a 1991 Sean Dunston scorecard that, if you graded it, would probably get a PSA 1.5.
Jeffrey Leonard was the poor man's Harold Reynolds of the time. He was.
But hopefully everyone's doing well out there. I promise I will do a mail day soon. My hope is to do one tomorrow or early Tuesday. Don't have a giant stack of stuff, but have a nice stack of stuff. So I have been, even though videos have been limited, I have been picking up some stuff here and there and keeping busy with stuff. But I don't know, man. Sometimes life just gets busy, and it's nice to have a hobby you can fall back on and friends in that hobby that you can hang out and talk to.
Nice. Yeah. And I mean, we have a great group that we talk to pretty much on a daily basis about everything and anything. And, and I like to get on here. I'm glad all the usual names are right back on here, just like, hey, we've been here every week. So I had another great night. Thanks for y'all coming out, saying hi, and shooting the bull tonight. It was a nice chat. We were all over the place, and it was fun. So until the next time tomorrow night, me and my dad, 7 o'clock live. If you don't have anything to do on a Monday night, I think that'll be right before the
ain't no more Monday Night Football, so hang out with Pop and Scott.
College championship tomorrow
Oh
night.
yeah. Yeah. You'd probably be done by the time that freaking
we'll be
starts.
done.
Plus, that game will be 4 hours long anyway, probably.
Yeah, we're only on for 30.
The only thing I know about that game is that Kyle Schwarber is a big Indiana fan because I keep seeing stuff about him.
He was on the coin flip last week. He was in the coin flip. Yeah, they had everybody else had like ex-football players, and there's Kyle Schwarber out there with Indiana. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like Ole Miss had Eli Manning, it's kind of funny, but yeah. But anyway, thanks to everyone. Like, share, tell a friend, subscribe if you haven't. Still getting trickle subscribers in. Catch my shorts. Opening up a pack a day, every day, and got to keep that going till at least the national started the day after. I missed 2 days. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, Monday Night College Football. So until next time, See ya.
Peace.
I'll get that in stream here. Hey.